Welcome to Pro Wrestling Quickie. I'm Tristen Law, semi-retired pro wrestler and your host. You don't have much time, and neither do I, so let's have a quickie. Let me ask you something. Did you watch that Roman Reigns promo on Monday night, or did you just watch WWE change how they tell stories? Because what happened on Raw wasn't just a segment. It was WWE looking you in the face and saying, "We hear you." On Raw, Roman Reigns, the 8-day-old World Heavyweight Champion, comes out and drops a line that hits different.
They made this title in spite of me. They made this title to try to take away from my shine, but it never worked.
Then Jacob Fatu steps in. No long speech, no debate, and physically shuts Roman Reigns down. That moment, that's the story. And it's building towards their match at Backlash in Tampa. Here's what actually happened and why it matters. Roman Reigns didn't just cut a promo. He took everything that fans, that the WWE Universe, that you, me, have been saying online. The World Heavyweight Championship feels secondary. Roman Reigns held on to power too long. Nobody has stepped up since Roman Reigns. And he flipped it into his reality.
I made this title relevant. Now you can finally be proud of this title. Now you can respect this title. Now you can actually choose to acknowledge this title.
WWE isn't telling you what to think anymore. They're taking what you already think and turning it into a storyline. That's a different level of storytelling. Now look at Roman Reigns' character. What's left for Roman Reigns to do besides collect a paycheck? He's not chasing anything anymore. He's not proving himself. He's trying to prove that everything revolves around him, that it's Roman's world and everybody else just lives in it. The title doesn't make Roman. Roman makes the title. That's why that line matters. Without naming anyone, Roman Reigns single-handedly buried every World Heavyweight Champion before him. Seth Rollins, Damian Priest, Gunther, CM Punk, Jey Uso, and even Drew McIntyre, although he held the championship for less time than it will take for you to finish listening to this. But here's the part that you probably missed. That confidence, it's not just confidence, it's insecurity. Because if you really believe the system works, you don't have to remind everybody that you built it. Now flip it. Jacob Fatu, he doesn't talk like Roman. He doesn't carry himself like Roman Reigns. He's not polished by the WWE machine. He moves like a man who needs this. And that's why this works. This isn't just a challenger. This is hunger. Hunger that everyone out there with a hope and dream can understand. And WWE, they backed it up the right way. How? At WrestleMania, he beat Drew McIntyre in an unsanctioned match. And I'm using quotations on unsanctioned because that's a whole other topic. Either way, it's not random. That was a test. Drew McIntyre, whether you love him or hate him, he's a gatekeeper in the WWE. If you beat him, you can prove that you belong at the top. So now, when Jacob steps to Roman, it doesn't feel like hype. It feels earned. And then comes the moment. Roman is talking, controlling the room, controlling the narrative. Jacob Fatu interrupts him, grabs him, goozles him by the neck with a Tongan death grip. If you don't know what that is, Google it, and shuts Roman up. That's not just physical, that's symbolic. Roman controls with words, and Jacob Fatu, he takes the words away. That's the message. Jacob Fatu is pretty much saying, Roman, I don't care about your version of history. This works, not because it's flashy, but because it's layered. Roman Reigns represents comfort, power, and control. Jacob Fatu represents hunger, survival, and urgency. And here's the truth WWE is testing. Can hunger break the system? Because if they keep Jacob Fatu exactly like this, violent, unpredictable, not playing the game, he becomes a main event star. But the second they make him talk way too much or fit into Roman's world, he's just another guy in the roster. This isn't about wins or losses. Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu, this is going to be about identity. Jacob Fatu isn't trying to join the main event. He's fighting like this is the only chance he'll ever get to be there. My name is Tristen, and this was your Pro Wrestling Quickie.